Okay, we are starting up another little trek. Today I'm at Superstitions at the Peralta Trailhead, and I'm heading up Bluff Spring Trail right now. It's behind me. I'm planning to be out here 4 nights, and I don't really have a game plan other than I'm going to try to get to the top of Bluff Spring Mountain tonight, and we'll camp there, just see what kind of scenery I can see what the water situation looks like, and then I'll make my game plan from there. But the weather's beautiful. It'll be cold tonight, but during the day it's gonna be perfect for hiking. And so let's go check out the soups and see what we can see. Okay, making my way up the side of Bluff Spring Mountain. The trail's at the bottom of the little valley there. So I've been cutting through the desert. It's tough going, but man, look at the stand of saguaros up here. It's just thick with them. So I might not even try to go to the top. I might just try to find a campsite right in there somewhere, in amongst the saguaros. It's getting late in the afternoon anyway. We'll see how it goes, but it's really pretty here. Okay, I'm about halfway up Bluff Spring Mountain. The trail's down there, and I've set up a tent right here. Look at this view. Look at that view of Weaver's Needle. The sun just went down that way, and I just got a little fire started. I'm gonna cook up some sausage and black beans tonight. Got some kielbasa and some jalapeno frying up, and I'm going to add some I've got some black beans here and some onions, freeze-dried beans and freeze-dried onions. I was going to go in with the jalapeno. Gonna be good. Alright, we got the beans and onions, jalapenos going there. They're simmering away, and the sausage is looking good. Sun's going down at Weaver's Needle rather. Picacho Peak. That's Weaver's Needle right there. So, and I got a nice little flask of green spot to wash it all down with. I love desert camping. There's a prickly pear, and this is kind of interesting. You can see right here where the javelina have eaten it, bite marks out of it. How they eat this, I don't know. Look, they've eaten lots of it. All right, this is Labarge Spring, and see, it's flowing really well. So I'm gonna really load up my water here. It looks good and clear. And yeah, somehow I'll find a campsite down here somewhere. Maybe go on the ridge a little bit. But yeah, not much further for today. All right, water. All right, I just wanted to show you how great my my Cactuskev Be Free water purifier works. It's got filter built in right there, and you just squeeze, and it comes out pretty damn good. I'll have a liter in no time. Right down there is Labarge Spring. It's flowing pretty nice. Not a lot, but plenty. And so I got my water there this afternoon, and then climbed up this hill so that I could have a little viewpoint into the valley. And I found a nice flat spot for the tent. And so that's all set and good to go. And I made a little fire pit here. I'm gonna make some coals so I can do some cooking and hang out and read and drink some whiskey. That's the agenda for tonight. Okay, prepping for dinner tonight. I'm gonna have a pasta with I guess a salami and tomato sauce. I've got some shallots and salami diced up there, some sun-dried tomatoes, some garlic ready to go, a little bit of tomato paste, some angel hair pasta because it cooks so fast, a little bit of oil, some water, and it should be good. Meanwhile, I've got some coals going here, so they're ready to cook pretty soon. Okay, now it's just simmering. And once the tomatoes get nice and soft, I'll just add the pasta right into this sauce and cook it in the sauce. All right, this is what the finished dish looks like. Find a spoon and try some. Should have a spoon ready, but go. Oh yeah. Tomatoes, garlic, shallots, sun-dried tomatoes, and tomato paste. Oh, and peppered salami that's been fried. God dang, that's good. Oasis in the desert. Wow. This is Charlebois Spring. It's nice in here. A lot of sycamore, very shady, and there's pools like this here and there. There's fish in that pool. Some little fish, minnows of some kind maybe. Anyway, I might camp here. I'm gonna go explore up there, see what I can find. It's still a little early in the day, but if I find a nice spot, I might just call it good right here. Ooh, it's nice in here. Nice water's running here. Very nice and clear. This will be a great place to get some water. Okay, I'm all set here at my campsite 3. I'm just right along the Dutchman's Trail today, and it was getting late in the day, so I just pulled off into a campsite that someone else had made rather than building one from scratch, and it was a good day. Anyway, so here's a little fire pit that's already there. I collected some firewood, and this is how I set up my sleeping area. On the back of my pack, there's like this sit pad. Okay, and there's also this foam mat, 1/8 inch foam mat from Gossamer Gear. And what I like to do is take the foam mat and put that down first. And this basically gives a little bit of protection for the sleeping mat, but also gives me a little more insulation. And then I have the sleeping mat itself. This is a Thermarest. It's a Neo Air X-Lite. Okay, and then I take that sit pad, and that goes on top of the sleeping pad, and then I can put my pillow on it, which is a Sea to Summit Eros Ultralight Large. Okay, and then I just put my bag on top of that. This is my favorite piece of gear. It's Montbell Spiral Hugger Zero Down. I've had it for about 10 years and I've never been cold. This is the tent. It's a Big Agnes Copper Spur 2. It's got a great little shelf here. This is where I put all the stuff sacks. And then it's got some side storage as well. And then another storage here if I need it. And sets up like this. And it's a great tent. It's the best tent I've ever had. I love it. So I'm going to finish setting the tent up, get a fire going, and start prepping food for tonight. Okay, I got the ingredients prepped for tonight's dinner. It's going to be like a creamy Alfredo with bacon and walnuts. I've got some garlic, some shallots, some injera pesto. And I'll saute up these three first, and then the garlic, and then I'll mix in my Alfredo sauce, which is basically just powdered butter, flour, powdered milk, and water. And then add the pasta to that, and it should be delicioso. Okay, it's looking pretty good. It's not as creamy as I would like, but it's gonna have a really good flavor, I can tell. Put a little basil in there as well. So it's all bacony, shalloty, garlicky, a lot of walnuts in there. All the good things. Can't be bad, right? All right, it's time to eat. I made a ton, so better be good. It looks good. Oh yeah. It's got, well, the bacon right away is so good, and the creaminess of the pasta, but the walnuts are great in this. And fresh garlic and shallots in that. Man, this is delicious. This is as good as I cook at home. So much better than backpacking food. And all it takes is a few little ingredients like fresh garlic and shallots. And the walnuts are amazing. Oh yeah. And choya. These are really nasty. If you touch one even slightly, it's going to come right off the stalk and stick to you and hurt bad. Definitely avoid these. And they're everywhere. That spire right there is where I'm camped. I just left to go get water this morning. Now I'm heading back. I'll strike camp. And the plan today is to continue along Dutchman's Trail and take the Terrapin Trail to Terrapin Pass, perhaps camp there tonight, but more likely keep going to Bluff Pass. Here's some nice prickly pear. Look at these prickly pear. Beautiful specimens. Wow. They look healthy. That's good. So yeah, this morning it was a nice night. I slept really well, and I walked about a quarter mile back to Charlebois spring with an empty pack except for my water bladder and water filter. Oh, here's another one. This is buckthorn cholla. The other one was teddy bear or jumping cholla. Maybe not teddy bear, but it was a jumping. So yeah, went up to get water, and now I'm gonna go back and strike camp and get going. Those things are nasty. All right, this is my last full day. Tomorrow probably will only be about a 3-mile hike back to the truck. So I'm gonna enjoy the day. Here's a mesquite tree. Obviously a really important plant of the desert. You can tell by the little leaves. They also have beans, but they don't have them right now. This tree doesn't. And you can grind up the beans to make flour. And the wood is really good for fires. It burns a really long time. So it's a really good tree to find. This is madrone, and you can tell by the really spiky leaves. This stuff's everywhere, and it's prickly, but it's harmless. And here, oh, here's some jojoba. This stuff's everywhere too. This is one of my favorite plants. This one looks pretty dried out though. It's got these beautiful round shaped, nice oval leaves. I just like. Lots of great plants here this morning. Okay, here's a nice agave. Looking good and healthy in the sun. And over here we have one that's not so healthy. That sprouts up, and this is what they look like when they're dead. And then just up ahead here, I noticed it's kind of interesting. This is what the inside of a saguaro looks like. It's these ribs. Get up here. That's a dead saguaro right there. Here's the ribs. So they fill up with water like a big sponge. Nice healthy saguaro. Love seeing that. Here's another thing you see out here very frequently. It's all over the place. Is these matted down trails of grass that go off to God knows where. And that is a game trail. So mostly javelina. There's a lot of javelina out here, but other game as well. I've seen fox, I've seen skunk, I've seen a lot of jackrabbits, and there's even one of the rangers told me that there's big cat out here, and they've seen bear. But that's not what this is. This is probably javelina right here. Okay, here's another very common cacti around here, the barrel cactus. And the cool thing about barrel cactus is they always lean south, like these are. So that is south, and that's exactly right. So it's kind of like a little bit of wayfinding helper in the desert. And here's some yucca. The cool thing about yucca is You can take these and cut them off right at the base there, and they peel in long strings, and then you can weave them or twist them actually and make really strong cord. It's pretty easy to do. Okay, we're still on Dutchman's and now heading straight toward the iconic Weaver's Needle. This is going to take me straight toward the needle, and then I'm going to turn south onto Terrapin, hike up to the saddle, and hopefully camp up there. All right, gorgeous day, a little hot, but it's the desert. All right, here's a cool looking saguaro. These things grow to about 250 years old. They don't get their first arm until 75 to 100 years old. So this thing has been around for a while. Their roots go out as far as the saguaro is high. So if you have one that's say 40 feet like this one, and the roots go out about 40 feet, and they're very shallow, about a foot underground, so that they can get as much water as possible. And then when it does rain, the ribs that are inside the saguaro swell up and store the water for times of drought and periods of no rain. It's a pretty cool icon of the desert. Obviously my favorite cactus. This is our old friend, the barrel cactus. This one, I believe, is a fishhook cactus. You can see by the hooked spines. You can also see some of the dried fruit, the fruit on top, which is edible. I'm heading up Terrapin Trail. I'm wondering if this is why it's named Terrapin. That looks kind of like a turtle to me. I don't know. Sure looks like it. I'll have to look that one up. Anyway, heading this way. You can see Weaver's Needle on the right. I'm hoping to go up to a saddle over there and have a fine view of the needle. And that's where I'll camp tonight. Okay, I'm up on Bluff Saddle and I've set up camp right there next to that balancing rock. Not the stack of rocks right here, but the balancing rock. And I'm just walking around and found this unfortunate fellow. I don't know if it was the fire or something else that caused his death, but looks like this poor tortoise died in misery. This balancing rock right here is pretty cool. I was gonna sleep right there next to it, but I'm a little wary of that rock. So I'm set up right here, and it should be a perfect view of the south. And I'm just gonna cowboy camp tonight, so I'll sleep under the stars, and hopefully it won't be too cold or too buggy. But that's the plan. All right, I'm not gonna have a fire either. It's just too open and there's not much wood here anyway, so I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the night. Okay, not a bad view to prep my dinner. It's the fourth night here in the soups, so basically it's clean out whatever food's left in the food bag. So tonight I have the rest of the salami I chopped up, the rest of the jalapeno chopped it up, the rest of the sun-dried tomatoes, chopped that up. This is freeze-dried sweet corn, black beans, and onion. I'm going to get that hydrating in my cup in a second. I've got some Trader Joe's chicken broth, some olive oil, salt and pepper, and Kev spice. So basically I'm just planning to make like a a vegetable soup with fried salami and sun-dried tomatoes. That should be good. It can't be bad. Sun's going down next to my balancing rock, and it's a nice night. So let's get cooking. All right, already looking good. It's sauteing away happily. Meanwhile, I got my veggies hydrating, and I put it in the cup in case there's a leak in the bag. Tomatoes are on standby, and sun's going down. Should be a beautiful sunset. Look at, there's nice wispy clouds there. They're gonna catch some light. Okay, looks like we've got a great little stew happening here, and I'm just gonna let that simmer, and then it'll be ready. Okay, my Superstition stew is ready. All the veggies are cooked, and it's time to eat. It's actually really good. You get the fried salami and the flavor pops of the tomato. The sweet corn's awesome. And then there's just a little bit of that chicken broth in there for some body. It's really good. Spicy. The jalapeno gives it some spice. It's got the onion and black bean in there. Woo! I made it a lot too. I could probably feed 2 people with this. Even though I'm still eating my Superstition soup, my veggie Superstition, look at this campsite. We get great views, literally 360. Look, I'm going to do all the way spin around. In all directions, it's something cool. It's kind of otherworldly up here because what little vegetation there was here got burned out. It wasn't much, I can tell you that. So you're left with all these really great rocks stacked on each other and hoodoos, and it's quite stunning. So I just hope I don't freeze tonight. But the stars gonna be great, and look at that morning sunrise view. Oh yeah. Nice sunrise. Alright, shooting sunrise. The battery's almost dead. And a fitting photo for the final